Now, after power scaling ever since I was basically in middle school, one of the biggest topics back then was if Naruto and Sasuke as adults could be capable of stopping someone like Raditz or Nappa or even Saiyan Saga Vegeta. This matchup specifically, I feel like, sparked the wave of could blank beat the Saiyans. This was the OG matchup, and Naruto scaling in general can be very confusing, especially with current metas saying that they're like universal, which Anyway, today I will be giving the modern take on Naruto and Sasuke versus the Saiyans, and if they could actually beat them if they invaded the Naruto world. For the story, we will just be replacing Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Ishiki with the 3 Saiyans, so Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz. And Naruto and Sasuke, instead of being weakened like when they were in the final fight with Momoshiki, they will both be at their absolute peak. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the matchup, and like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want more versus battles. The Saiyans in general are often used as a way to determine if other verses are strong, as they appear very early on in Dragon Ball Z, and despite this are shown to be ridiculously powerful. Even characters like Raditz are capable of beating up Piccolo and Goku at the same time, the same Piccolo and Goku who both surpassed Master Roshi and King Piccolo, with Master Roshi being capable of destroying the moon and King Piccolo specifically surpassing Master Roshi and also being a threat to the planet. We know Piccolo himself, while training Gohan, was capable of vaporizing the moon, and calculations have this feat around Large Planetary based on how easily Piccolo was able to do this. As we know, Raditz is arguably like 3 times weaker than Nappa, with Nappa being like 4 times weaker than Vegeta. And we know in Dragon Ball power levels are exponential, with like a 2% difference basically meaning you can one-shot and fold your opponent in half. And we know other Saiyans that Vegeta has surpassed, like King Vegeta, his own father, was capable of wiping out 3 planets in the anime with a wave of his hand. Calculations have this feat ranging into potentially Dwarf Star level, which in the anime at least is weirdly consistent considering the bug planet that Vegeta and Nappa go on in the filler, which Vegeta ends up destroying. There are also calculations having this feat at Dwarf Star level. Though again, the 2 feats that I'm mentioning are anime only, so think of this as more of a high end than anything, and this would only apply to Vegeta as Nappa and Raditz don't really scale to him. Vegeta at his peak, we know at the very least can destroy a planet, as his Gallic gun was going to destroy Earth, and there are countless statements of not only him but also weaker characters being a threat to the planet. So roughly both Raditz and Nappa should be large planet busters, while Vegeta is stepping out of that tier and nearing those Dwarf Star level ranges, though this would be definitely on the lower end of that tier. It should be noted as well, Vegeta can increase his strength an additional 10 times over with the Oozaru form. And the other 2 for some reason can't use this form like Vegeta, but if it's nighttime then they could also use this power, I guess. And that's pretty much the Saiyans' attack potency. In Dragon Ball, determining how strong characters isn't really that hard, as most of the feats are just blatantly shown on screen. Now, regarding speed, I'm not going to lie, it's just upscaling from Kid Goku's 2 lightspeed feats along with Piccolo's relativistic moon vaporization feat. Characters like Goku and Piccolo by the time of the Raditz fight should already be reaching faster than light speeds, and as we know, Raditz is able to hyper blitz both of them, with Nappa and Vegeta obviously being multiple times stronger than that. And although Raditz wouldn't have the luxury of being as strong as Nappa and Vegeta, he should still be decently into light speed, which is kind of funny to think about. We do know from the Kui fight that your speed increases with your power level, so the speed scaling is weirdly simple since we already know how strong these guys are as they have a set power level. And back when they were in the series and main villains, power levels were still kind of important. Now, regarding hacks, the Saiyans are really known for their ability to adapt and grow through battle, along with surpassing their limits. Though Vegeta is the main person who demonstrates this, and I don't think Nappa and Raditz are, I guess, capable of doing this. They're kind of just too stupid, but they all do have some type of idea of ki control, so this does mean as well if Vegeta or the other Saiyans are stronger and are dealing with an outside ability like Genjutsu or Sasuke's Chidori, to an extent they should just simply be able to resist the other effects of those abilities with their ki, as most hacks in Dragon Ball get deflected when the other opponent is just simply much stronger. So things like Amaterasu might unironically not really be a threat, and things like the Rinnegan ability could be tricky if Nappa and Raditz are just way stronger. Like, they are unironically just gonna have a better Shinra Tensei if they power flex on Sasuke and they are way superior. Now, I'm not saying Vegeta is like negging Tsukiyomi or something, but things like basic Genjutsu and stuff that Sasuke typically uses won't really work on at least Vegeta, who's the main important Saiyan we're talking about. It probably would work on the other 2 because, again, they are kind of stupid. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the GOAT duo of Naruto and Sasuke. Luckily, both characters pretty much have the same scaling, so it's going to be pretty easy to determine where they're at, similar to how it was for the Saiyans. Naruto, even with half of his chakra gone, along with Sasuke barely having any himself because of him using the Rinnegan's teleportation, are both somehow still capable of beating up an amped Momoshiki pretty comfortably. Not only was Momoshiki in base already implied to be above Kaguya, but he himself was absorbing stars and celestial bodies from her dimension. Kaguya as well can pretty much destroy everything with her mega truth-seeking orb, making her at the very worst planetary, with this going up to even star level. I think Naruto and Sasuke, if you are super generous and say that Momoshiki was just absorbing whole celestial bodies, then the case could be made for them cracking that solar system tier. But I don't even really like saying this, and I mainly would only use this scaling if it's specifically for a matchup. I want this video to appeal more to a general audience and not just those who are pushing certain agendas. So although based on the kanji you can actually argue that Kaguya's truth-seeking orb is multiversal, I don't care. That's not really what Kishimoto was going for, and that's not at all consistent. But I do think Naruto and Sasuke at their peaks, at the very worst, are large planet busters. Come on, we're in 2024. We gotta move on with the caveman times, with them, in my opinion, being comfortably into star level. As for their speed, well, there are calculations of Momoshiki going around and absorbing stars in base, which despite this taking a significantly long time, don't get me wrong, Momoshiki would need to be literally thousands of times into light speed to even pull this off. And we know even weaker characters in Shippuden like Haku and Darui were moving at light speed or shooting literal light beams, so it's not far-fetched to say that Naruto and Sasuke as adults are way faster than light. Naruto and Sasuke would already blitz Darui and Haku dozens of times over, and then they would gain a whole 6 Pavs amp, and then Naruto would gain another half of the 9 tails while Sasuke would be training non-stop to take down the remnants of Kaguya. If you don't think Naruto and Sasuke are lightspeed by this point, I don't know what to tell you. Anywho, as for their hacks, well, Naruto's main way of fighting is using clones to jump his opponent, which are relative to himself. He's got the Rasen Shuriken to specifically hit your cells. He's also got Magnet and Lava Release to enhance that durability negation, along with enhanced range and senses with Sage Mode. With Kurama, of course, he has a ridiculous pool of energy and stamina that he can pull from, and he does have some type of mastery of hand-to-hand combat, which a lot of people like to weirdly downplay. Although I do think Vegeta's hand-to-hand is probably superior to Naruto's, I don't think we should discredit Naruto's hand-to-hand. As for Sasuke, well, he's a completely different fighter from Naruto. He uses lightning to stun and neutralize his opponent, along with now using the combination of his Rinnegan to teleport and swap around his opponent's position to knock them off balance, along with his Sharingan or his Mangekyo, which allows him to basically spawn black flames onto his opponent, and he can manipulate these black flames, also known as Amaterasu. Sasuke with the Rinnegan as well can manipulate gravity, absorb energy, and even steal his opponent's soul. And of course, with the Rinne Sharingan, his perception is completely cracked, as he already gains basic precognition with just the base Sharingan. Sasuke as well with his eyes can utilize Genjutsu, though I'm not gonna lie, he mainly only used this in the 5 Kage Summit, or when he was evil. I don't know why he doesn't really use it, but I mean, hey, it is there for Sasuke to use. And if all of that didn't sound ridiculous, Naruto and Sasuke can basically make chakra stands that can fuse with each other. Naruto's can shoot Rasen Shurikens along with shooting mini bombs that wipe out continents, while Sasuke's stand can not only shoot arrows but also shoot lightning arrows, and it can fly and also have a samurai sword. Oh yeah, did I mention that these two avatar slash stands can fuse into an even greater one? A Ninetales with Susanoo armor that can swing a sword and shoot continental bombs? Yeah, these two are absolutely correct, but let's now answer the question, could Naruto and Sasuke stop the Saiyans? Now, for this scenario, we'll just say it's Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz, and they are combating Naruto and Sasuke along with the 5 Kage. The 5 Kage can just deal with Raditz to emphasize how strong he is, while Nappa, aka the Kinshiki of this scenario, would start things off by rushing at Sasuke. Now, in terms of pure speed, I think Sasuke just simply has the advantage here. Not only are the calcs and speed scaling just blatantly better, but there's more evidence to pull from. along with the fact that Sasuke just has hacks that allows him to react to things a lot easier. So even if Nappa and Sasuke are relative in speed, I'm not gonna lie, it's still just set up for disaster for Nappa specifically, just because he's notorious for being a big dumb brute. Sasuke would make quick work of the Saiyan, and I think Naruto would probably go in to help the 5 Kage against Raditz, with him noting that he's not nearly as strong as the guy Sasuke fought, and yet Naruto and Sasuke both saw that guy's attacks coming from a mile away. After these two make quick work of these Saiyans, I think we would have Vegeta staring down at both of them, and he would fly down to combat the two, noting that these two are much stronger than he realized. Now, I will say, because of Vegeta being actually a lot more powerful than these two, he stands a much better chance and could more than likely fight Sasuke and Naruto rather than just getting folded like the other two. But Naruto and Sasuke still, at the end of the day, just have better scaling individually, and now Vegeta is left in a scenario where he's fighting two opponents a lot faster and a lot stronger than himself. I think if he just doesn't die already from Sasuke or Naruto, he's gonna have to make a power ball and turn into an Oozaru, which I feel could give Naruto and Sasuke the idea to fuck around and basically have the Susanoo Kurama fusion, which would give us a similar sequence to how Naruto and Sasuke interacted with Momoshiki's lava golem. But I'm not gonna lie, they probably have a much easier time just dealing with Vegeta, as the 10 times boost in strength doesn't make Vegeta stronger than Naruto and Sasuke, and he would already be low-key weaker, because when you make a power ball, you sacrifice power to turn into the Oozaru. Back then, this topic was weirdly a huge debate, but as the years have passed, it's clear that this topic isn't what you think, and Naruto and Sasuke are clearing the Saiyans with medium difficulty at best.